Hey y'all, my name is Nadia Anachi. Welcome back to my studio. Today we're going to be focusing on shooting some very fun accessories. They're sunglasses. Everyone loves sunglasses. I believe everyone does. And so today we're going to be shooting some really bright and colorful sunglasses, playing with shadows today. So I'm going to grab them really quickly and I'll be back. So today we're going to be working with yellows, blues, some tortoise shell, and then even a pink. I like to play around with a lot of color, just because that's just me. Look at me, I'm wearing a lot of color today. And so typically when I style, I like to think about putting together the perfect puzzle. And so right now we have some interesting shaped sunglasses. They're all different shapes and colors. So I want to find the best looking angle and composition to get a really nice tight shot. First thing I'm going to do is lift my table. It's maybe a little bit fancy for y'all at home, but I needed this. Typically when you're shooting product photography, you're bending over a lot, which can put a lot of strain on your back. So if you can find like a nice standing desk that you can move up and down, that's a really good thing to have in your home studio or studio space. So I think I'm going to want to sit these sunglasses down and have them open to kind of create like a staggered look. My camera, in a minute, I'm gonna have it facing in front, down at an angle maybe, and I want it to be shooting forward. So like I kind of want the sunglasses to be peeking in the frame when we get that final shot. So you're just getting like a peek of each different shape and color. So if this were for a company that sold a multitude of different frames, this would be a good shot to do, just to kind of give the client and the customer a peek into what they could view when they enter that client's store or shop online. So we're just getting everything ready for now. Everything just kind of staggered. Just grab my camera and start getting that angle going. I always shoot my camera on a tripod or on a C-stand. To me, that's the most stable, and it takes more stress off my back when it comes to shooting a lot of products. So what we're doing right now is getting the perfect height for my camera. And I'm thinking that I want to shoot this in portrait, so I'm gonna bring my camera down and lift it up just a little bit. Right now I'm tethered using my program called Capture One. You'll be able to see it in a minute, but that's typically how I shoot. Whenever I'm tethered, I can see what my camera sees, so no matter how tall or short I have my camera at an angle, I won't have to grab a step stool or like crouch down on the floor just to be able to see what I'm trying to capture. So right now I'm looking through the visual peephole just to get the perfect angle. Actually, I can turn the tether on just so you can see what I am doing. Turn my shutter speed down. Oops. And that is what I'm looking at right now. That's a little bit too dark. Okay, so right now, these are all of the sunglasses just kind of strewn about at an angle. And so I'm thinking that I want the orange. I think I want the orange shades in the back, kind of peeking in. And that's what's great about shooting tethered, because I can pretty much play around with where my sunglasses are gonna be without having to run back and forth to my camera and click the button, back and forth. So I'm thinking I want something like this. I want maybe some of the sunglasses peeking from the bottom.
And how do you go about with the styling component of this? Is this just like experience with putting them in the right directions, or what do you get your inspiration for how you put them on the table?
With something like this, if I don't have like an inspiration image like from Pinterest or Instagram, I like to just kind of throw things on the table. And like I said from the beginning, like piece things together almost like a puzzle. I kind of like to let my creativity kind of flow to give me a good visual of just what I might be seeing. And so I kind of want to just get a nice little peek of each of the shades. And so I can see right now everything, there we go. Everything is kind of in frame just a little bit. So what I want to do is to push my camera up a little bit further because I don't want to see too much of the yellow. Just want just a little bit. And then we're peeking in here. Turn that just a little bit. And there you go. So this is something that you can play with a lot at home. If you have a good amount of sunglasses or like belts or something like that, where you just want to play around with just composition or, you know, just placement, then that's something that you can play around with. And so right now we have something interesting. I'm gonna move my light on the other side because what I want is for the fractal lighting of some of the crystal color of the sunglasses as well as the shadow shape of the sunglasses to kind of pierce to the left. And so that means I'm gonna have to move my light behind to the right of the objects. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Right now, all of my lighting, my one light right now is on a C-stand with wheels. They often don't come with wheels, but you can buy them separately, like on Amazon. And they have locks on them, so you can move them around wherever you need them to be. So basically, I'm coming right behind, and I may need to lower that as well, but we're gonna see what that looks like in the test shot. I'm gonna turn my trigger back on, do a test pop. All right, and let's say I'm just gonna focus on one of these images. Bring that shutter speed back down. Let's do a test shot. Okay, so I'm gonna need to change the orientation of this. So with this particular program, I shoot a lot of landscape, and so that is what my orientation is set as a default. So right now, because I'm shooting at portrait, I'm gonna turn that so no matter what we shoot, everything is right side up. There we go. Let me just change that. Okay, and so right now, this is what we have. And so you could pretty much leave it at that, but to me, I want a little bit more of some of the sunglasses showing, so I'm gonna play more around with the lighting. And it's also a little bit too bright, so I'm gonna bump that light down just a little bit. But so I'm really liking the shadows that's coming from the orange sunglasses. The pink, they're more opaque, so I'm just gonna kind of turn those because I don't really think that they're as interesting as the other sunglasses. So I'm just gonna angle those just in just a little bit more, and I'm gonna move the tortoiseshell cat eye back just to get more of it in the frame. So let's take another shot. There we go. So, okay, so move this one just a little bit more. And so typically with something like this, it's very hard to keep everything sharp and in frame. So composition comes at the end in post. And so the trick to getting every single sunglass item in frame and crisp, you're gonna wanna basically change your focus. So right now I would basically focus on the yellow, take a snapshot, focus on the tortoiseshell, take a snapshot, and so on, so that when I pull them all into Photoshop, I can select each one that has each single crystal clear sharp product and bring them all into one image. And that's how you go from just having only one item in focus and everything else blurred to everything in focus. And when it comes to sunglasses or any other product that is displaying an array of shapes and sizes for a client, they want typically everything to be in focus. And so that is a good trick, just to make sure that you have everything that you need. So it is a process, like it's not a one and done type of thing, and it's very experimental. So it's all about just playing around with things and then seeing where you can take them, you know.
And what, in terms of settings, what happens with, from a aperture standpoint, have you found an aperture that you're normally in that range to get that sharpness that you look for in Photoshop?
Yeah, so as far as settings, I typically shoot 1/200 for my shutter speed, mainly because my lighting cannot go beyond 200. So that means that the mouth of the shutter is opening and closing. And so if I'm shooting at a faster rate over 1/200, it's just gonna show up black. So that is my cap. When it comes to my ISO, I typically shoot around 200-300 if I don't, if my light is already bumped up to a 8.6 or a 7.5. But when it comes to f-stop, I need everything crystal clear and sharp. So I'm shooting at like f16 to f20. That's usually my range when it comes to shooting anything from sunglasses to socks to eyelashes, any type of makeup, because you want that texture of the product to be in focus every single time. And so as you can see, because we brought our light further back, you see some of the shadows just really playing around in the image. And so depending on how you turn the sunglasses, the shadows will move with that. So it's really up to you how playful you really want to get when it comes to playing with shadows. Right now I just have one high key light, which means that my shadows are going to be really sharp and extruded. I can do something to soften that lighting by bringing in one bounce card to the opposite side, so when the light comes in, it bounces off and hits the product. So it not only fills the light and brightens it up a bit, but it also lightens up the shadows, because if they're too dark, that could be something that you want to, you know, fix later on in post. Okay, and that brightened it up, so when you toggle back and forth, you can see that the shadows are really dark here, and then when I added in that key light, it brightened them up. So that's pretty much how you go about styling and playing around with sunglasses. Again, it's really about a feeling of like where you want to go, what you want the image to look like, what details of that product you really want to focus on, and really just experimenting. Oftentimes when it comes to flat lays like this, you want to kind of sometimes create an S shape. S shapes are something that is really appealing to the eye. And so right now we don't have an S shape. So in order to do that, I could bring this in here. Let's get rid of that. Let's see if we can go about doing that. So let's see what that looks like. Let me bring this over just a smidge. Okay, so it's really hard to tell. Let me also add this in at the back. So basically, the products themselves are forming a spacer of an S. So basically an S shape allows you to view the first product and the second one and then the third. It basically creates a flow for you to visualize and appreciate the entire image. A lot of times when you look at certain images and it's too much going on and you get a little bit anxious and you just have to look away, it's just, you know, it's imbalanced a little bit. And something that I like to focus on is creating a really nice shape to where you're not only just looking at an image, your eyes are following an image in a certain direction, just so that it kind of captivates you a little bit more. Yeah, that's pretty much all you need. Making sure that you stay focused on creating a visually appealing flow to your products when you're laying them flat. Making sure that you have your lighting where you want it. If you want long shadows, bring your light away. If you want more shortened shadows, bring your light closer. If you want more soft fill light, bring in more bounce light, just to make sure that you're getting light all around to take control of the visual that you want to create.